What's up YouTube? My name is Chad. This is the Wisco Boater channel. Welcome back to another episode of the 1962 AlumaCraft Maracaibo 14 restoration. Yeah, I do not have a hat on. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Can't wear a hat, so I had to try something with my hair, so no hat today. First time in a very, very long time. I wear a hat almost every single day. Anyway, I'm going to start sanding the paint today. I've got the windshield out of the way, got everything out from underneath the boat that I care about, that I don't want to get covered in dust from the sanding. So I'm going to use 3 different sanders, probably. The orbital sander, not really sure how far I'll get with that one because the Velcro padding is pretty much past its useful life. I'm going to use a little mouse sander and also the straight sander. So I'll get these set up and probably just shoot a time lapse here of the sanding, and then I'll wipe it down with some acetone, and then we'll put some primer on it. So I've got the boat sanded. Before I show the details of that, I'm going to show you the 3 sanders that I was using. I've got my Hitachi orbital sander. This is the one that I started out using. It needs a new Velcro pad, which you can see those 3 screws right there get removed, and I can take that off and replace that. The Velcro is just worn away and it won't hold a pad anymore. So the next one I used was the straight sander here. Straight block sander, sheet sander, I guess is what they're called. That worked nicely. And then my favorite sander, this little mouse sander from Black & Decker. This thing is just a workhorse. I love this little sander. It does a great job, gets in tight little spots. It worked beautifully. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what the boat looks like sanded. So here's the finished product of sanding. You can see I have gone down into the red, and also a few spots had to get down into the aluminum to sand off some gouges that were in the aluminum. But overall, the point here is not to remove paint, it's just to rough it up, because this paint is now going to become the substrate for the new primer that's going to go on the boat. So overall, I think it looks pretty good. And you can see, there and there, got down into the aluminum, and there's another nice big gouge back here that I sanded out. But I got the inside sanded. And if I can sneak around to the other side here, side looks the same. This side wasn't quite as gouged up as the other side was. I have to hit that one more. That's not bad. So this is now ready to be wiped down with acetone and then get taped off for primer. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do this today. It is the day before Thanksgiving, and I have to get out there. If you can see, the yard is covered in leaves. So I got to get the mower out and mulch the leaves. So I'll come back to this after Thanksgiving, and we'll get this thing wiped down, taped off, and get some primer on it. Feels so nice to have a haircut. The long hair experiment is over with, so no more long hair. All right, I'm going to get the boat masked off this afternoon. I'm not gonna video that, just putting tape down, but then I'll wipe it down with acetone and we'll put a coat of primer on it and get this thing looking better. All right, well, quite a bit later in the day than I anticipated. Had my neighbor's dog had a little bit of an emergency. I think we've got that taken care of, so I'll try to update if you're interested at the end of this video. Their dog got quite sick and had to go to the emergency vet, and I did help out as much as I could today with that. So back in the garage this evening, I've got the boat all masked off. I have everything wiped down with acetone, and I'm now ready to prime. So I'm gonna set up yet another time lapse because you know I love those, and we'll get some white primer put on the boat. I am using what I usually use, which is the Zissner Bullseye 123. Stuff's great. It goes on nice and even, and it covers up nicely within 2 coats, and the stuff just basically covers anything. So even if there's areas where I've missed a little bit of a wipe with acetone, it's still gonna stick. So set the time lapse up and we'll get this thing primed. I'm gonna start on the inside and then I'll do the top deck and then sides. Well, there is the first coat of primer. I knew that it wouldn't actually cover. I'm gonna have to do 2 coats. I'm not gonna worry about 3 coats. It doesn't have to be completely white for the new colors to go on, but a second coat will do a pretty good job of covering up the colors that are underneath. But everything looks good. Got a little bit thin right there, you can see. But the second coat will take care of that. So I was unable to show the starboard side. There's just no place for me to put the camera to get a good time lapse of this side, but you can see that's all got a coat of white on it. And we'll let this dry for at least 24 hours. And if I get a chance to come back out here tomorrow, which will be Monday, a work day, I will come out and do the second coat, but it might be a couple of days before we get back out here. However, the first coat's good, and we'll let this cure up and do the second coat here very soon, but very happy with today's results. It's now time to go inside, clean up, and get ready for Sunday Night Football. Go Pack Go. Okay, here is coat number 2 of the primer. I'm actually gonna call this coat 2.5. I did the entire boat with a second coat, and then I did another wet coat over some of the previously colored areas where it was kind of blue and red. And I think that is getting me to a point where I'm happy with the primer. We'll let this dry for another day. My colors are gonna be here this week. I'm not gonna share those colors quite yet. I will say that I did decide I am not going to paint this boat the original colors, which were red and white. That will be changed. However, I am probably going to stick with the original scheme, where it's gonna be a color as the main hull and the deck, the interior, and then my trim color is going to be that line going along here, and then I'll split it down into the AlumaCraft kind of flag that was back here. You can kind of see it. There's that like a reverse pennant right there. And with a little bit of the previous color showing through, I'll be able to use that to mark my lines and get the new colors put on. I want to keep that pennant because I'm gonna, the AlumaCraft sticker, the new decal is gonna go within that pennant, and I think that'll look really nice. So 2.5 coats is what we'll call this to get it to a finishing point of being primed. All looks good. Let it dry for a couple days and we'll be ready for color. So we'll call this one quits in this video here. Next one will be paint colors revealed, and I think it's gonna look pretty awesome. So thanks for watching this episode of the Wiscoboto channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, send me some comments, and if you want to be notified when I post new videos like this one, hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time on the Wiscoboto channel. Happy boating, everybody.